In today's Urbandoned video, we are taking a look inside one of the biggest standalone structures we have come across. This is Lackenby Steelworks in Middlesborough prior to its demolition in 2022, a colossal artefact of industry towering up to 70 metres that boasted everything we hunt for in abandoned properties of this nature. Capturing these visuals came with a cost, however, as the site was teeming with builders and security, making the infiltration a tough one as we evaded both throughout the explore. Discover the Steelworks with us in this documentary and watch as we come a little too close for comfort on multiple occasions.
Seconds there, mate. Go on, jump on it. Yeah. We're gone. Okay.
Remember to click subscribe and press the notification bell to never miss a video. These days, sending data over an unencrypted internet connection is like posting the postcode for an abandoned building online, totally exposed and available for anyone dodgy to see. That's why we are using ExpressVPN to create a secure tunnel between our devices and the internet, protecting us from hackers who could steal our personal information with only basic computer knowledge. The service additionally gives you unrestricted access to all parts of the internet, which is awesome to any film or show lovers like us, especially when we are travelling for urbex, so we can watch different countries' films that we can't find in our location through ExpressVPN in an instant. Make sure to protect everything you do on the internet with ExpressVPN and use our exclusive link below to get your first 3 months free and help support the channel. Thanks to them for sponsoring this video. The time was 5 AM in a surprisingly busy A road that surrounds Lackenby BOS Plant, and we were about to attempt to breach the grounds undetected. Silhouetted against the developing sun, we gazed up at the immense premises in awe, before sprinting into its dark depths to look for a way upwards, knowing that security patrolled the ring road around the site regularly. Thankfully, we just missed the workers, who began their shift earlier than we had anticipated. When we finally arrived at one of the rooftops, it was a stunning moment, watching the sunrise around an industrial wasteland. After catching our breath, it was inevitably time to start our exploration as the first glimmers of light entered the defunct steelworks. Okay, so coming back down from the roof and seeing this now in pretty much full light when it was pitch black before, it is unreal. The scale of it, it's unbelievable. And although a lot of it has been demolished, this bit looks relatively intact still, besides the ground floor. Okay, so we're coming down into the main building. We're going to be going top to bottom because we think there might be demolition workers on the ground floor, so that way we can complete it all. Oh my god.
I'm yet to see this.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Look at the orange glow on the roof because of the sunrise.
You can't even grasp the scale of this.
Yeah, video does not do it justice.
This is actually unbelievable. The sunlight in here is gorgeous. You can see some really nice sun rays there coming through. I'm going to try going to the other side to get a better shot of them for you.
There is definitely demolition vehicles inside towards the far end of the hall. Incredibly visible as we make our way down because this whole wall has been removed. However, it's not too active out there yet on this side. Look at this huge gantry crane. We're heading over to see the sun rays that are coming on the other side of the hall right now, but we'll come back here, have a much more in-depth look. Oh, this is the staircase we came up on. It's a bit scarier in the dark because you don't know if there's going to be holes or loose panels. That's crazy. We need to make sure we don't go too close to them because we might get some big metal things right on top of them.
It's a digger all the way down there. We have just seen people inside as well. This is very exposed. This is unbelievable.
It had been quite a hectic beginning to our mission, and we had been taken aback by the number of workers we had already seen passing through the hall. However, we had to take a moment to appreciate the golden glow entering the facility as the sun reached its pivotal point in the sky. The Steelworks was truly breathtaking. Even though we had been inside for under an hour, we had to feel privileged in that particular spot to know we were one of few to see the building in this state, signified even more by the digger nearby tearing down the roof support. Unfortunately, this spectacle wouldn't last long, because we would be brought back to reality by the closest sighting of workers yet.
I don't know what they're doing, but they're patrolling. Theo caught sight of them a second ago, and then they were literally on this bridge, and we thought they were coming straight to us. We had nowhere to run, and they went down the stairs. But if they'd have come down here, they would have seen us and would have been caught. Yeah, we need to move from here.
A lot just happened off camera. We saw two workers, and then you probably saw clips of them just passing us. We thought they were about to walk straight on top of us, but they luckily went down a staircase, and we've just seen them again. So during like a moment's gap, we're making a break from it.
We're just consistently watching our backs at the moment.
Yeah.
We've got so much ground to cover, you can't even see the end with our wide angle lenses.
This is a lot harder than I thought it would be to film.
Even when you're looking at the scale of a place like this, you think, you'll never run into anybody in here. And we've had too many close encounters already in the last 10 minutes. And right now we're possibly in the most open spot of the entire site. So we're trying to make quick ground to get hidden again.
Seconds later, we would be clearly sighted for the first time, and were forced to make a hasty retreat.
More workers outside the plant. It's hard to see with a wide angle lens, but we're completely surrounded. Getting out of it is going to be a nightmare. Okay, so we're sat at one of the far ends of the Steelworks right now in a tiny little, what would have been an office section, I think, just waiting out any immediate response from workers or security. Been sighted by 2 guys, and those 2 guys actually individually already patrolling. Whether it was surveying or security, we're not too sure.
No, it was them, I think. So it probably didn't make much sense for the viewers, so we should probably explain the whole thing from the start.
Yeah.
You spotted 2 guys?
2 guys underneath us on this side of the plant.
And then we kind of moved away from them, and then just after trying to get, our aim was to get to the sunlight rays that were coming into the demolishing side of the hall. And as we got over there, the 2 workers suddenly came from nowhere. They were on top of us on the other side of the bridge. So we were basically trapped. And the workers started coming across the bridge, and we were just like looking around in panic for...
There was nothing. We were completely cornered.
Yeah.
The best bet we had was to time it with them coming up, because it was a staircase up to a ladder.
Yeah.
And luckily, it was taped off the section we'd gone across, so they went down. But it didn't take us long to be seen by another 2 outside, further down the plant. So.
And they've come straight in.
Yeah.
Like, moments after we had to sprint. You saw us walking all the way up the length of the hall. We had to sprint all the way back. Because they would see us, and we were like crouch sprinting to not be seen.
So
we're here now.
Can we give it?
But I think we should, when we go back out,
I
think when we go back out, we should try and explore it more like systematically. Like each section, we'll film that.
We'll start here.
Do the whole, and then we'll move around
diagonally and then get out.
And we'll leave the end bit for last.
Yeah.
I didn't even get any ray photos.
No, I've only got a couple photos so far.
Security patrol. They were there for about 5 minutes, just looking.
We're heading back out after about an hour of waiting. We've got to basically start all over again. Try to work out if there's people still in here. I'm going to be on extra high alert, which makes filming even more difficult. As you can hear, it's a lot more quiet, so we'd presume they've halted the majority of the work, which also makes it even harder. But we're going to start by exploring the floor here. There's a lot of different machines and all sorts of items that we can try and showcase for you.
It's definitely more quiet in here, as if they've halted work. Which makes sense. Hopefully they'll give up looking for us soon and continue, because it's a lot easier to film when it's going on, because we can talk with our full voices. It's eerily quiet now compared to how it was before. So I believe these are the ladle cars. I think there was 5 of them. These huge machines. And this alley, I'm going to call it, has a huge crane that could lift over 350 tons, which is a lot of molten iron.
Little control room here. It's quite dark, but it's got all the panels and buttons left. It's not many, but this would have controlled whatever this machine is that I'm stood in right now. It's really hard to tell at times what links to what, but it's quite cool to see this in situ.
We've seen like 3 workers now just walking around the building, looking inside for us. So as long as we don't go too far to the edges, we should be okay.
We're just heading up now, back to a higher level, actually on one of the second floor walkways. give us a better overview of the site again. Definitely looks a lot better from up here. What's that? It does. Not a sight of anyone just yet, but you really don't know. Someone can be on top of you, below you, without knowing in this place. That's what makes it really hard. On a positive note, some work seems to have commenced.
This is quite cool. Controls for the crane. It's very hard to get a good shot of it, but you get the idea.
Whilst peering down the alley containing the Steelworks ladle cars and constantly looking out for a flash of orange high-vis, something magical occurred. Lackenby had close relations to Redcar blast furnace, which is situated perhaps a mile across Teesside's Ironopolis, another industrial gem that we filmed a month later. The molten pig iron created at Redcar would be brought to the site by rail, tipped into a ladle that would be poured into a converter, where temperatures of 1700 degrees Celsius were reached as it mixed with scrap steel and oxygen. Then, the mixture would be sent to a casting plant close by, where the steel would be solidified and rolled into ingots ready to be exported.
Look at the scale. Imagine what this would have looked like with all the machines in the middle too. Now it's just a road for diggers and jeeps.
But there's wheels underneath here. All these massive machines would have moved. There's tracks actually carved out in the floor, but it's so old it's really hard to tell.
This huge crane here in between the rows of ladle cars is the big one I was talking about. It's capable of lifting around 350 tons. Some hoppers. Some machines that I'm actually a bit more familiar with. This is a storage area with, I think, different chemicals.
Still people inside here. He's walking off there. Hopefully he has no idea we're still in here.
Permit station, containment area, something fairly serious in this room. Wow. Don't know if this is a control room or an IT lab, but there is a lot of computers. Such a waste, to be honest, of the monitors.
So we're heading up to the highest part of the roof now. I don't think I've ever been up so many stairs in an abandoned building.
I think it peaks at 70 metres.
It's pretty high. The question is, do we head up here? Oh, there's a staircase around the corner.
Go to the staircase.
Hopefully this takes us out onto the roof.
Let's take a look at it here. Holy shit. That is crazy.
That is unbelievable.
Reminds me of Blade Runner. Oh my god. I don't know what it is about this higher section of the building, but it seems a lot more decayed, as if it was closed for longer. Everything's very black, there's pigeon feces everywhere, and the machines just look like they've been out of use for a long time. That might just be effect of the iron though, the reason they're black. It's quite incredible to look down.
Searching for a higher perspective than the one we had in the morning, we headed into the tallest region of the steelworks, which peaks at 70 metres, excited to have a rest at the top and take in the views.
The final few steps to the roof. It feels like it's taken us absolutely ages.
Yeah, it's really tiring.
Wow.
That's some view.
Yeah, it's like a field of industry. Everywhere you look. Definitely don't want to get seen up here though.
In the daylight, we had a more careful look at our surroundings. We could see the entire horizon all the way up to the coast, noting various industrial abandonments like Redcar that would soon become future targets after this. The seaside breeze was relaxing and cooling, especially after ascending more than 15 stories to get here. Additionally, the demolition work was well underway beneath us, the massive diggers that looked like toys bringing out the dismantled metal chunks into a pile. This was a great spot. As well as making filming easier, the last thing we wanted to do was disrupt anyone's business. Lackenby's steel production was established in the early 1950s by a private company, Dorman Long, but collaborated with British Steel in 1967, when this plant was built as a replacement to take full use of the revolutionary basic oxygen steelmaking process. By 1971, the BOS plant was finalised and operated by British Steel until privatisation in 1988. It was passed around various private steel companies like Tata and Chorus over the next few decades until Redcar and itself was bought by SSI in 2012. Tragically, the company liquidated in 2015, forced to decommission their sites in both locations with the loss of 2,000 jobs. Despite our exploration of Redcar being a month after Lackenby, we felt the video should release afterwards, almost as a sequel, with the steelworks being the second step in steel production after the blast furnace.
Feel the wind coming in through these huge gaps.
Possibly the most bait section of the Explore now.
Yep.
Plenty of workers around here.
It's also the lightest.
Yeah. See, demo work's definitely gone on this wall on the right.
Wow, these are ace. These are the free converters of the steelworks.
Absolutely massive.
This room actually is gigantic.
It feels bigger than the others, but it's looking up, I'm not sure if it is.
Yeah.
As stated, these are the trio of BOS converters where obscene temperatures were met and oxygen was blown into to produce molten steel slag in the final stage of the production at Lackenby. It was incredible to see them still standing, as well as the huge ladles that would have poured materials into them for years.
These huge pots are the only two ladles left. These are usually the things that you associate with a steelworks. They're fascinating, and They must be so heavy, that's probably why they were left. Too hard to break them down and too heavy to lift them. I believe this yellow machine would move up and down the huge space in front of the converters and dump all the material that would go into them. It's huge, as is everything in this place, to be honest.
The machine would have poured skips of scrap metal into the converters to help the merging.
Pretty sure these buckets would attach to the crane as it moved over this room, depositing stuff probably into the yellow machine we just looked at. Everything around us is dilapidated industry. Workers are on their work break right now, so we have a little free bit of time to move into the bit they were working on and have a look. I think those there is iron ore that's just been left because it was too hot on the final day or around the time the place closed. And it's just a huge clump of it sat.
See if there's anything of interest down this way. I like they have this colour scheme in this section.
Yeah, it's the only bit where there's actually colour.
Just makes it a lot more interesting to see.
This might be a control room.
It does look a little bit like it. Considering this is the main converter part of the plant as well. We can have a look. Yeah, I think this might be a control room. Oh, it is. It's quite a nice one, in fact. It's not one that you'd usually see though. Say an older control room would have a lot more hard panels, so to say. This has got a lot of soft panels and electronics involved, but it's still dated by the looks of it. Two main boards here, both sort of diagrammatic. Not sure exactly what it'd be showing, but it's still nice to see it in situ.
The control room was something we didn't expect to still be in reasonable condition at the Steelworks, but it was a pleasant surprise. Despite it being fairly modern, the diagram of the process was interesting to see, especially with the meters placed on correlating images.
Okay, so we're really close to finishing the exploration now. To finish off, we're just going to head up this slightly bait staircase and get an overall view of the converter hall from the gantry.
Although it may not seem like it, we had spent a full day at Lackenby, having lost time for our hideout period and the fact that it was a winter day. This meant that the sun was steadily setting, which did help project even more extraordinary visuals in the hall. What an exhilarating exploration this had been. We knew to count our blessings that we had seen so much of the abandoned site, especially after our close encounter at daybreak. Before long, the thrill would continue as it would be time to leave, but for now we wanted to capture this moment, knowing we would never return.
It's an absolute nightmare. Wait, there's two lads. Maybe. I don't know. Carry on going.
Alright, I think I'm away with that.
Yeah? It's time to go.
Nothing that way, we've got to go straight right and left. Oh, they're coming. Yeah. Yeah. Wait.
We had been seen again, but didn't think the workers would take much notice of us. Hearing them whistle and shout, and then seeing them sprinting towards us changed our minds.
Yeah, no, it'll be workers, it's fine. Let's go. Yeah. Put the barbed wire, just lower yourself as slowly as you can. I'll take a cut to get away. Yeah. Yeah. Right here? Okay, Bob. No, we can find barbed wire. It's fucking everywhere. Oh shit, they're actually outside there, they're coming. We're not gonna make. Should we just run straight? Here? This? With this? Yeah, go on. Yeah. They're outside, coming towards us. How? He's running, bro, he's actually running. He's running to get us. Yeah, wait. You alright, mate? Give me a leg up. Got it.
Just taking pictures. We're going now.
We're just taking pictures.
We're going.
Have a good day, mate.
We're off.
Go on. The other two are right here. Shouting. They're gonna. They might have a go at us. I'm not gonna lie. Just taking photos, mate. We were trying to stay hidden. We were trying to stay hidden, so we didn't want to ruin your shit, but we didn't know. Huh?
Where have you been in there?
Everywhere.
Why?
Take photos. We take pictures of abandoned buildings.
Now, right?
Yeah.
Do not come back in here.
We're gone.
You will die in there.
Okay.
Not being funny, you will die.
No worries, man.
Fucking hell, man, man. We're pulling steel down bigger than anything we've ever seen before. We've done it for fucking years, right? That will kill you instantly.
Yeah.
Whereabouts have you been in there then?
Everywhere. We do this all over the place. We're quite familiar with like going in when there's demolition workers, but we were trying over this fence. It's over, climbed over.
Climbed over that fence?
Yeah. Climbed in and out over it. We do this a lot, so it's like our hobby. We're not here to try and cause damage or
I understand. You get killed in here, what are you going to do?
Yeah, that's why we didn't want to get seen by you, because we didn't want you to stop your job.
But you don't know you're there, we still kill you.
Yeah. It's our risk to take, I guess. But
Aye, but it's just worth the fucking afterwards.
We can get seconds coming, lad.
okay. You just gotta just like stamp on it, tramp on it. Seconds here, mate. Go on, tramp on it. Have a good day, guys. Yeah, security though.
Chill, man up.
Having been seconds away from being swarmed by workers and security, we had managed to escape. If you would like to see the full chase, we have the video uploaded on our Patreon, linked below.
What are we saying, lad, jog to the car? This way.
It had been hard work, but we had come away with some unbelievable photographs and cinematics, and a documentary that we feel showcases Lackenby in a way it was never captured, and one that will never be repeated again. We truly hope you have enjoyed joining us on the entire mission. Demolition began in 2021, months before we visited, and concluded in October 2022 with the final removal of what remained of the BOS plant, using 1.6 tons of explosives. The Mayor of Teesside promises new opportunity with the demolition of the town's history, planning to regenerate the industrial wasteland into something that will affect the area for the better. We hope this will be the case, and it won't remain a forgotten destiny like many empty spaces around it. Here are some of our photographs captured at Lackenby Steelworks. If you like the look of them, check out our Instagram page in the description, where we share images of our explores months before they are seen on YouTube. Thanks for watching. This is one of our favourite exploring videos we have ever produced, and we hope it provided a good sequel to our redcar blast furnace exploration. Leave a like if you thought so. See you next time.